This week we talk about singles from Nogizaka and AKB. We also talk about some disturbing images that came out of one of the graduated members. And also for Nogizaka, we get to see some missing members, and there's quite a bit of them, as well as photobook news at the end. Hello and welcome to another week of the AKB48 group news. And this time I have a little bit of a different setup. It's not the usual setup. Last week was an exception because I kept it because of the other video I did. But this week I was just trying different things to see how it worked out. And I think I'm going to go back to the other setup I had. So enjoy this week's special lighting episode. Alright, so remember it goes 48 graduated and 46. You can always check on the top right of the screen to see what section you're on. And without further ado, let's go. So first up, we have some graduation concert news. And this time it's with 3 members that I talked about. I think I talked about some of them before. It's for Fujie Reina, Jonishi and Yabushita. They're each going to have graduation concerts in Osaka, and actually Fujie Reina is actually going to have one in Chiba because that's where she grew up. But information for all of that will be down below, including dates and locations. And just heads up, this is like April 10th to 17th when all these concerts are happening. And next up, we have news about AKB48's 47th single. That's all those numbers. They actually performed this on Music Station, and they even wore the tofu pro wrestling outfits and everything. It's a pretty cool clip. You guys can find that on the web. I don't think I'll link it just in case AKS wants to be looking for that. The song is called again Shoot Sign, and a lot of people are complaining that it's actually a boring song and it's also tied together with boring dancing. Kojima said that she wanted to like relax and like surf her way through until graduation, and making her the center will kind of defeat that. So maybe this is why it's a little bit of a more simple song. And that's not saying that it's a bad choice of music. I'm saying the dance is a little simple. Next up, we have news about Yamamoto Sayaka and how she's going to perform by herself once again. She's going to perform at Amoeba First Anniversary Live. Now, I'm not sure if it's the first anniversary or if it's the inaugural, because those are 2 different things. Anyway, other than that tangent, she's going to perform April 14th, and there'll be other artists there such as Golden Bomber and Momoiro Clover. And that's actually all for AKB48. There's a lot of 46 news I want to talk about. But before that, let's go to graduation. For this graduation segment, I'm going to talk about 2 people. The first person I'm going to talk about is Nagao Mariya. Now, she's actually starting her own YouTube channel. If you go look at her channel, which is linked down below, you can actually see that she has uploaded every single day. So I'm imagining she's super serious about this. And again, just like every person who starts, it's a little rough. On her side, the audio sounds a little rough. But I think with her personality and like her variety skills and all that AKB knowledge that she got from being in the group, I could imagine this actually being a fairly decent channel. I mean, look at me, I'm still experimenting all the time with different sound, different lighting, different setups. And I mean, it takes a while to actually set up your own thing and like finally ground it and be confident in what you do. And also something else that came out on the news of her are some disturbing images that came out. Well, at least that's what some people call them. You can actually go down in the link below and see these images for yourself. And they're typically like a new age style of being old age style of photos. It's like the very like home taken photo with like old film, like old disposable film and like Polaroid. It's that type of feel to it. You know, there's overexposed images. It's some blurry ones, some weird ones in there. And I mean, for the theme being that, it's actually consistent in its theme, although I do think there are a couple of images in there that aren't necessary. But if it really wants to get that theme of, you know, you pull this out from a random roll of camera film and you see all these images, it actually does fit that. And I mean, for that style, you kind of have to break a lot of rules. And I feel like they did break a lot of rules. I'm not too happy about some of the rules they broke. I mean, at least keep the basic knowledge of it a little bit there. And I think it could come out like a lot better. But I mean, it's art and people interpret it as they see. But next I want to talk about Oshima Yuko and how she visited Mexico for a TV show. Now, if you remember, I talked about this like a long time ago. Comment down below if you remember that. It seems like they actually did record something as I guessed. This will be for the same program where she went to Iceland and now she's going to Mexico. So I imagine this is going to be a lot of fun. I hope there's lots of food and lots of heritage and stuff like that, as they always are. And with Spanish, I think it'll be a little interesting. As I understand Spanish and English, I feel like I'll be able to appreciate this a little more than I did the Iceland one. But for those of you that want to watch it like me, that'll be March 5th when that comes out. So that'll do it for graduated news. Let's move on to the 46 news, shall we? First bit I want to talk about is actually how the 17th single for Nogizaka has actually revealed when it will be released. It was announced on Under Construction that March 22nd will be the day when it releases. And there's actually a preview image that you can see, and it kind of reminds me of like that, again, Vanity Fair style, just like the last one, but except a different one where they usually do for cast members, where they put them in a production set and then put all the members in a row nicely and take a picture pretty much with cool lighting. And like this one kind of gives like a retro vibe to it because of the clothes. So I can't wait for more information about the single and for that music video. Next up is a little bit of stage play stuff, and that's that 2 members from Nogizaka48 will be in it. That will be Wakatsuki Yumi and Ito Juna. They will be in an Inuyasha stage play. Wakatsuki will be Kogome and Juna will be Kikyo. And that will be April 6th to 15th in the Galaxy Theater in Tokyo. For those of you who will be there around the time, you can go and check it out. And for those of you who don't know what Inuyasha is, it's actually a manga that was adapted into an anime. It's fairly popular, especially here in the States, as one of those old school animes. Next up, we talk about the missing people from the Handshake events. Now, there are actually a lot of people that are going to be missing the 17th single national Handshake event. And I mean, Ikuta, Himetan, I mean, we know that. There's Matsumura, and there's also Shiraishi, who will be missing for all of the days that the handshake goes on. And also some of the days, Higuchi's missing, Nojo's missing, Ikuma's missing, Eto's missing, Saito, Shinichi, Hori, a whole bunch of people are going to be missing on different days. And it's kind of surprising to see how for a handshake event, so many people are missing. I'm not too sure if this will affect sales that bad, but I imagine some people just buy it for the handshake tickets. Hopefully a lot of people go and see other members, you know, keep on buying them handshake tickets and meet new members and, you know, get new favorites maybe. And this is apparently due to conflicts in schedules. Some people are speculating different things. I'm not going to state any of the speculation because it's all speculation and we just have to wait and see what causes this. But something good will come out of this, and that's that the 3rd gen will actually be there in the handshake event. So getting back some of those handshake tickets from the ones that they lost. And speaking of missing people, I don't really know how that segues, but Shiraishi Mai actually denied a graduation rumor that was going around. She actually talked about this during her photo book release event. She was like, oh, this hasn't even crossed my mind. And I mean, she is getting older, but I feel like she's still, I mean, management still needs her pretty much. I mean, she's always front and center. She's like one of the most beautiful girls in Nogizaka and, you know, paying them good bucks to keep her in there, right? But we will see how this turns out, you know, in a couple of singles and see if she changed her mind. Hopefully she stays there for a long time. As my Oshi, I kind of want her to stay there longer. Next up is something pretty exciting, and that's that Inuyasha will be in the 2020 Olympics. This will be part of Tokyo Navigear Navi, and I mean, that's basically all the info I know. I mean, you can see pictures on the websites and stuff. Since my Japanese is no good, and the source I saw this from only like stated that headline, I didn't really get any more info on this. But I mean, just hearing this news is pretty exciting. You know, I'm hoping that all of Nogizaka will be able to perform in the 2020 Olympics, or even them with AKB seems more plausible. But that's a hope I have. And another bit of exciting news is that Wakatsuki Yumi is actually going to be an MC for a TV show. Finally, we have Shiraishi, Nanase, we have so many people that have their own MC shows, and now it's Wakatsuki's turn to show up. The title of the show will be Fujie-san, and actually I don't know much information about this. Like, all the pictures show Mount Fuji, but I don't think it's gonna like solely revolve around that. But nonetheless, it seems like an interesting idea, and this will actually premiere February 25th. So keep your eyes out for that, as I will. And we move on to the photo book news. And first is that Akimoto Manatsu's photo book actually has a title now. It will be Manatsu no Kiatsu Haichi. And a quick Google Translate actually told me something about pressure. Knowing Manatsu is something like how she gives off a pressure and people become nervous around her or something like that. And once again, that's February 28th. And I think I might pick this up actually. I'm not 100% positive yet. I have a feeling Manatsu knows what the audience wants. And last bit of news for this week is actually something I didn't cover last week, which I should have because it was announced the same day. and that's that Sakurai Reika is going to have her own photo book. Now, I'm super excited for this. I mean, Sakurai Reika's been wanting a photo book for so long. I mean, she even talked about it during Tokyo Girls updates and saying how she wants a photo book and hopefully she'll do it. And I mean, she did do it pretty much near the time she said that she wanted to. And something interesting about this is that it was actually shot in Malaysia. If you remember, Takayama wanted it to be in a different location than Japan. And they were like, oh, no. The first photo book is usually in Japan. We don't usually go overseas for this. But I mean, Reika's first photo book, and she's going overseas. I don't know if they were playing Takayama or they put more budget in for Sakurai, but something's going on. But the title of that will be Jiyu Toiyu Koto. That probably sounded bad. And that will come out March 8th, 2017. There's Twitter and Instagram links down below for the photo book. But that'll do it for the news this week. Be sure to look at Thursday's video where I covered this baby over there and see all the critiques I did for the photo book, all the good and the bad. Also, be sure to look at last week's video where I talked about the news and subscribe to keep up to date with my videos. You can always like the video if you liked it and comment down below what you thought about this episode. Thank you all for watching.